Alright people, Mike Salden here again, and welcome to my Hades playthrough. This is actually my 50th attempt at trying to reach Hades and beat him. I've actually reached him 3 or 4 times, but I've died each time. I'm pretty bad at this game. We're just going to pick up this playthrough a couple of rooms into the Tartarus level. It's not that far, but I'm trying to keep this video under an hour long. So I'm just going to pick up at this part of the playthrough. Haven't really missed much. All that happened really was that I picked up the sword as my main weapon, and I got the ability to throw out this laser cast, as I like to call it. It's going to be instrumental in helping me win. I'm going to use a pretty cheap strategy to beat Hades. But at this point, I've lost so many times I kind of do just want to beat him now. So yeah, I've got the Divine Strike. I'm going to upgrade that quite a few times. It's got the ability to give me 2 points of healing every time I hit someone with it for less health. So I've only got 60 health at the moment, but to be honest, as long as I can heal myself with the Sword Strike, it's going to be worth it, and I'll upgrade my health a little over time. But it's not going to be a huge amount of health I'm going to have during this playthrough. It's probably going to top out at about 130 HP, which some people will be like, that sounds terrible to go into the final Hades fight with only 130 HP. But if we manage to pull off the strategy that I'm going to try to do with these laser cast ability, then it's probably going to work. It's going to be pretty cheap, pretty cheesy. But I'm not going to say it's cheating, because it's actually using the mechanics of the game to help us win. But we'll see when we get there if it works out. We'll just get through these really easy enemies in Tartarus. Not a lot to say about them really, they're kind of basic. The first time you're fighting them, when you don't really know anything about the game, everything's kind of a little difficult because you don't know what their moves are, you don't really know how to deal with them. You don't know how to exploit any of the enemies yet. But again, this is my 50th attempt at this, so I think I'll go in here and meet what's-his-face, the guy trying to push the boulder up the hill. Oh, Meg's not been in here before, I don't think. Syphilis, that's his name. So yeah, there's definitely something going on between our character and Meg. They seem to have some sort of relationship that went sour. I don't know if that's going to be patched up over the course of the game, but I guess I'll see when I get to it. Again, I went into this kind of blind, didn't really know much about the game. Just that it was a roguelike, and you die a lot in it. Sounded a tiny bit like Dark Souls. Sorry to bring up Dark Souls and compare it to yet another game. Everybody compares everything to Dark Souls, but I think I'm allowed to say it this time because you actually do. The whole idea of the game is dying over and over again and getting a little bit further each time. Although unlike Dark Souls, you don't get a bonfire in any of the chambers where you can save before a boss and keep going back for another attempt. When you die in this, you get sent right back to the very start. Which, at the beginning, before I ever started the game, the idea of losing all that progress each time was kind of putting me off the game. Again, I didn't really know much about roguelikes or how they worked. But I had played a lot of Dark Souls, so I thought the difficulty I might be able to put up with it, but it was just the idea of being sent back to the start every time. But what I then realised after playing this for a little while is that you actually get to keep a lot of stuff from each time you go through on a playthrough. Like you collect like darkness or whatever to level yourself up, and you get to keep all the darkness you acquired. It would be really hard if you lost all that stuff, but you do get a lot of stuff to level up, and helps you out each time you go for another attempt, and it quickly becomes pretty addictive in my opinion. I didn't really think playing the same sort of 5 or 6 levels over and over again. Is it 5 levels? 5 or 6. I should know that by now after I've played it for about 50 times. or had 50 escape attempts. But yeah, I think it's 5 levels. But yeah, I didn't think I'd get that addicted to playing like that small amount of levels over and over again. But I really did, and it's pretty surprising as I've never played a roguelike before. Everybody said the game was amazing for quite a few years now, 2 or 3 years since it first came out. When did this come out? 2019 or 2020 maybe? But yeah, I only started playing it over Christmas a little and into 2022, which we are in now. And yeah, I've got to say, people were right about this game. It is really well designed, really addictive, and I'd say it's pretty welcoming to newcomers to the roguelike genre, because it actually seems quite forgiving in a lot of ways, just with how much help you get from the gods, like their boons and level ups, and like this little shop here where you can buy power ups or whatever. Do I need any of these? I kind of want to get more fish, so I'm going to take those too. I'm trying to get the trophy for collecting a rare fish and showing it to Poseidon at some point. So yeah, I have got up past these levels before. I have made it to Hades 2 or 3 times, but again, I've never beaten them. The game is pretty easy now up until Elysium. Here's the fishing spot I wanted. Pretty simple fishing mini game. Just hit R1 whenever your little bait goes down under the water, and there's a little bit of a flash, and then you can just collect the fish. Again, it rewards you when you get back to the chef in the Hades main chamber or whatever. You can give it to the chef and he'll give you some diamonds or whatever. So again, the game is always rewarding you for sort of everything you do, which is what makes it so addictive. Because you can have died 2 or 3 times in a row, but you're like, okay, I'll just go for one more attempt because this time I've got this thing, and then I can unlock this thing that'll make me be able to do this, and it does that over and over again to you, and it never makes you feel like you're never going to be able to complete it, and you always feel like you have a chance, no matter how badly you're doing in a run. You do always get the sense of, actually, if I just make it to the next chamber, I might unlock this power up or run into this guy who's gonna give me a health boost or a power up or something, and I could actually pull this back, this what looks like a defeated run. You actually always feel you can turn it around, which is really hard for a game to do. Sometimes you just feel defeated in other games and you're just gonna give up and just rage quit or whatever, but this one, more than any other game, rather than rage quitting, it just makes me want to go straight back in there and try again. It's just, that's how addictive I found this to be. Don't really need that 50 darkness. Again, this is my 50th attempt. I've sort of powered up and bought like as many upgrades from the mirror as I can at this point. I'm just pretty bad at the game, that's why I'm on like attempt 50 and still haven't beaten Hades. Other people have said to me, it's actually taken you 50 attempts, what are you doing? I finished it after like 15 or 20 or whatever. But again, it's just I'm pretty bad at games, that's why it's taken so long. And I am resorting to my plan, this cheap plan I've designed, which involves this laser cast ability. My main plan is to really use the rocks in that Hades final boss arena to hide behind, while I just keep throwing the laser cast at him, and hopefully I can dodge his like flamethrower ability or whatever you call that, because he's basically doing the same thing to me that keeps killing me, throwing out a sort of cast ability while he just stands there. So I'm going to do it back to him and see how I get on. It would probably be a lot more heroic if I just charged in and fought him with my sword and got really good at the combat like that. But I don't know, the game's giving me these sort of alternative methods. I'm going to try out a few and see if I can finally beat him. I'll just buy these. I was planning to not spend anything until we got to the final area, because you need a lot of money at that point to buy all the power-ups just before you fight Hades in the area where Cerberus, the big three-headed dog, is. I think I'll go for this power-up. I'm gonna keep trying to put up the sword's main attack, because again it heals me for 2 HP points every time I use it, and I want to be able to be doing quite a bit of damage while I'm abusing that ability. I think it was the Daedalus Hammer that gave me the heal yourself every time you get a hit ability. And then the old lady goddess, I forget her name, but she's the one that gave me this laser cast ability. The casting, sometimes I barely use it, but this time I'm gonna abuse it quite a lot. And then mainly just rely on being able to heal myself with the sword. It's not a tactic I wanted to resort to before I was trying to do other methods. But yeah, we'll put up the Divine Strike again, or maybe the Beam, the Laser Cast, because I will be needing it quite a lot later. I'll go for the Divine Strike for now, but next time I get a power up, maybe I'll put up the Laser Cast ability. The boss of this area, the big, what is he, the Hydra, he's probably the easiest boss, but he can be annoying because you do fight him next to all this lava. And I'm a pretty sloppy player, so I keep going out of bounds and into the lava and doing unnecessary damage to myself. It's kind of annoying, and I can go through a couple of the defy death chances I have. I've got 3 of them at the moment. I might swap to the tooth item that you get from the skeleton guy, which gives you an extra chance if you die, an extra revival or whatever. I might swap to that before Elysium, because Elysium's really the only sort of barrier to get into Hades that I have now. The first 2 levels are pretty easy, the bosses are pretty easy. They weren't the first time, of course, I was dying all the time in the first few attempts, but by about attempt 20th or whatever, I was getting past them quite frequently. And it's really Elysium with the bull and the shield guy. What's his name? I forget his name. The champion guy. You have to fight. They're sort of like Ornstein and Smough. To bring up Dark Souls again. You have to fight 2 of them at once, and they can be quite tricky. At least for me. Other people might find them pretty easy. But when I get to them, it's Elysium either makes or breaks a run for me. If I'm going to be able to get to Hades, it depends on how well I've done at Elysium. If I've managed to get out of there with at least 3 defy death chances left. Ideally you want to go right up to Hades and have 4 defy death chances stored up if you can. But usually Elysium upsets my plans in some fashion, and I end up losing one of those 1 or 2 or 3 sometimes of those defy death tokens. But again, we'll see how it goes this run. I think we'll take the Ambrosia and put up the 2 boon levels that I have. What are these other ones? I never really pick them. I always pick the Ambrosia, but I'm gonna do it again. Quick Recovery and Curse of Pain went up, I think. So yeah, we're gonna go speak to the boatman. He's got a shop. I don't know if I have enough money to buy anything. I've only got 145 gold, but I'll probably buy that health upgrade. It's only going up by 10 because again I have that Daedalus power up on the sword where I can heal for 2 points, but I have less health, and I think I get less health from the upgrades as well. So it only went up by 10, but I think I feel pretty good at having 100 HP, because again, as long as I can use the sword to keep healing myself during this boss fight, it shouldn't be that difficult. And also I can abuse the laser attack. It does quite a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm healing myself pretty well here. Again, I think the Hydra is the easiest boss once you know what you're doing. And I've never really died to him after my like sort of 10th or maybe 15th attempt. I've sort of consistently been getting past the Hydra and Meg and the other Furies. They're pretty simple once you know what you're doing as well. It's always Elysium where things sort of start to get a bit tricky. And also Elysium, running into that guy who can give you death defiance tokens or whatever. He can fully refill them, so you always hope to run into him if you did lose any in the first 2 levels. Running into him again can really make or break a run. What's his name again? Patroclus or something like that. He's Achilles' friend. I think people know the guy I mean. You have a chance to run into him sometimes. Mostly when I need him to be there, he's never there. And somehow, if I've managed to get through with 3 or 4 full death defiance tokens, then I'll run into him when I don't need him really. But I don't think we'll need him today because this healing sword ability I've picked up, it's really helping keep me alive here. Like the Hydra can't really hope to get rid of me unless I do something really stupid. I can just stay at full health forever by healing myself. And the laser cast, it really helps out when you put it in the right position, unlike what I just did there now. See, it's getting me down to about 80 HP, but then I just heal myself right away with the square attack. Right back up to 100. It's took me down to 90 again, but not really going to be a problem. So that's the Hydra down. Pretty simple fight. Again, the thing I don't really like about it is the arena. All this lava out here. Most of the time, I didn't do it that time, but other times I can get a bit button mashy and I end up jumping out into the lava and taking unnecessary damage like that and just really annoying myself like an idiot. But I didn't do too badly that time. I don't really need that fountain, but you have to take it to open these other things. I think because we're going into Elysium, we're going to swap to the Lucky Tooth. Now I only have 80 HP, but that's because I had Cerberus's collar on, which was boosting my health a little. Can't really afford anything from the pool there, so we're just going to head on into Elysium. I have beaten it before with the sword because there's a little tick next to the reward item there. But we'll see how I do this time. Elysium really is where things can get a bit tricky. I'll go for the power up here. I keep destroying all the jars because I don't know, I just find it satisfying to do, and also sometimes there's money and health items in them randomly, or you can get like a token or whatever that puts, or a boon or whatever that ups the chance of there being money in there. These enemies are really annoying, probably the most annoying enemies in the game. These guys that regenerate once you take them down, they go into this other state, that little ball state, and if they get back to where their weapon is, where you took them out, they can regenerate and you have to fight them over again. But thankfully this time, having the healing sword, it's really helping me out here. Even though I'm taking a good bit of damage, I'm able to replace it pretty easily. I'll put up Divine Strike again, I think, or maybe the Crystal Beam. Curse of Pain, no, I'll put up the Divine Strike. Should I power up or get health? I think I better put up my health a bit because 80 points seems a bit low to face Hades, and like he's up next after Elysium. Also, it's a bit low to actually fight the two champions with 80 HP as well, but we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling a lot more confident than usual because of this healing sword. But again, if they gang up on me really badly, it's not gonna matter if I'm able to heal myself that much. But at least I also have the strategy of running away and putting the laser cast out, and it can attack people while I concentrate on running away. So that's a really good cast once you unlock it from the old lady goddess. I forget her name, Dermata or something, Demetria? I can't remember exactly all the names. It's all the Greek gods, really. That's another thing I really enjoy about this game, all the Greek mythology. I love God of War, the original series when it was set in Greece. The new Viking one, it's okay, but I am always going to prefer the ancient Greek pantheon of gods. Just find them more interesting, really. But yeah, I've always loved God of War. And it's probably the setting of this game, like it being set in the underworld, the Greek underworld of Hades, that's really helped me get into it, because I am invested in the story and the characters, as well as just being addicted to the gameplay. It's got a really nice art style too. I think I'll go see the old lady goddess. I'll go for her chamber. Maybe she'll have something that can upgrade her cast, because I am probably going to have to start upgrading it soon and stop relying on Divine Strike, because most of my strategy for fighting Hades again in this run will involve putting down the laser cast and then hiding behind a rock until it runs out. I'm trying to avoid Hades' attacks, because I don't know what I've been doing wrong, but I just get destroyed by him pretty quickly. Again, it's probably just a lack of being good at the game overall. Other people who've probably played this a lot are probably going to look at my method of fighting him and go, what are you doing, this is so stupid. But at this point, it's been 50 attempts and I am ready to just sort of get that first win against him, even if it's a bit cheap. And I am aware beating him once isn't really the end of the game or the story. It's kind of only the start. You've got to get to the epilogue then, or whatever. And I am interested in doing that, but 50 attempts at about maybe an hour each or so. So I've played this for 50 hours already. I've just worked out, and I haven't beaten it once yet. But it doesn't even feel like that. It feels like I've only played it for, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I've played 50 hours, but 50 attempts, I am realising that they're about like between half an hour and an hour each. So maybe it isn't exactly 50 hours, but it's getting up close to that. And I've only been playing the sort of same 5 levels over and over again. It's kind of surprising. Oh, cast will do chill damage. Oh, I think I better take that. That sounds really good. But yeah, it doesn't feel like I've played the game for that many hours. And it's still so addictive. You wouldn't think that you could get addicted to something that's quite a short game when you know what you're doing. I've seen some people with their speed runs, you know, beating it in like 10 minutes and crazy stuff like that. They just got really good at the game. Excuse me. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that, but I could get a run down to maybe 25 or 30 minutes if I got good at the game. There might be some trophies related to doing the game quickly or something like that. And I do want to platinum this game eventually, so I would like to get better at it and try some speedruns. But at the moment, I'm just going to concentrate on getting that first win against Hades. Because I'm ready for it to happen now, and attempt 50 feels like the right time to finally stop messing about and just beat him for once. And also advance the story a little, because I noticed when I've been going back to Hades, there's been less and less dialogue from the characters, and it's kind of like the game's like, okay, we're running out of things for these people to say until you move on the game a little. Can you please beat Hades already, you moron? So yeah, I'm going to try to do it this time. Okay. The only bad thing about this cast is that you have to wait quite a while for it to finish doing its laser burst if you need it again. Yeah, I'm just going to abuse it as much as possible because it really helps you avoid having to get in close to enemies and taking unnecessary damage, which is why I'm planning to abuse it against Hades. The other time I got really close to beating Hades, I got him down to his second stage. I think I was using the shield and its special move where you throw the shield out and it comes back to you. It was going pretty well, but then Hades started deploying his own laser attack, and I couldn't get behind a rock fast enough, and he sort of just took me down. So this time I'm going to try to be more mindful of the rock. Should I get that pressure points epic? Yeah, let's go for it. Because if I'm hitting Hades with 3 lasers at once, and there's a chance of them doing critical damage, that would be pretty decent. Don't want really either of these things, so I'm going to alter this. Don't really want gems either. Yeah, I'll take some nectar. I can always use that to advance my relationship with some of the characters. So far, I've only managed to get what's his face, the boatman, Carrion, is that his name? The guy who sells you stuff. I've only managed to get his approval or whatever up to maximum. I think I'm pretty close with Aphrodite and Artemis, maybe. And Nyx, I've got Nyx's approval really high, but I haven't got an opportunity to give her ambrosia yet. So I think I've got a... Do I have any ambrosia at the moment? I can't see it in the bottom right of the screen there. I thought I had some, but maybe I used it for Carrion or whatever his name is. Because to unlock the final bit of approval or the final heart or whatever with a character, you have to give them ambrosia. Before that, you can just give them a lot of nectar. Let's see, should I buy deal 50 damage from behind? Yeah, I'll take that. And I'll take that special, deals extra damage. And let's see, what are we... yeah, we better put up our health. Get some Minotaur hearts, I think that's what that symbol is. These little chariots that blow up when they get next to you, they're one of the more annoying enemies as well. They're not really much good for farming health off of, because once you hit them they blow up and do 10 damage to you. But yeah, see, I'm losing a lot of health to them. I need some more standard enemies to show up so I can sort of farm health off them again. Why isn't there any other enemies? Okay, there's one guy over there. Gonna try to get rid of these with the cast. Let's farm some health off. Oh, he's blocking it. Come on, get some health off him. Alright, this is the worst room I've been in so far. I've lost quite a lot of health. But I can farm it back off these guys, hopefully. Yeah, come on. Back up to 50% health. Nice. Trying to put out the laser cast to take care of the chariots. Get these spell casting witches or whatever they're called. The shield guys are one of the most annoying enemies because they block all your attacks. And they can also regenerate like the other guys in here. But they are pretty good for farming health off now that I have this restore 2 bits of HP thing on my sword. Really was a wise investment. Hopefully 100 HP is going to be enough to get through Elysium. Well, I've got 110 now. We'll go see Artemis. Or will we buy stuff? No, we'll go see Artemis, I think. Maybe she'll give us something that'll help our critical attacks. Let's see. Critical attacks, 15% more damage. That sounds pretty good, to be honest. But if I hit someone with the cast, I'll take that because I'm going to be hitting them with the cast a lot. If I had someone with the cast, it'll send out an arrow attack as well from Artemis. That's going to be pretty useful. My main strategy for these two is to sort of, again like Hades, throw out the laser blast attack and sort of run away from them. And if I do take damage, run in, get a few hits, put my health back up, and then go pick up the laser blast. and it's got chill effect on it, so it should slow them down a little now too. I think it was actually a really good move to put the chill attack onto the lasers. Doing quite a lot of damage to the Minotaur already. That's pretty nice to see. Okay, I'm going to concentrate on the Minotaur first and leave the shield guy to last. It would probably be wiser to take out the shield guy first, because he does his little, he can call for the help of the gods as well. Sort of spam the arena with god attacks, which can be annoying, but I think I'll be able to survive it if I get rid of the Minotaur. So he does far more damage to you, but I'm going to try to keep farming health off him and get my health back up to 100, hopefully. That's 80, 82. But god damn it, I keep getting hit by the spear attack. These lasers are really doing a good job of slowing them down because it has chill effect on it. Yeah, I'm just really abusing them so much, the lasers. But they're part of the game, that's what they're there for, so it might feel a little cheap, but to be honest, whatever it takes to win at this point, I'm willing to do it. Okay, the Minotaur's almost down. Try to farm our health up to at least 70, hopefully, before the Minotaur goes down. Got it up to 63, that's not bad. And we'll try to get this shield guy. Again, he's really annoying because he blocks so many of your attacks. You have to get him in the back, really. But I'm sort of playing a bit sloppy here, so it's kind of hard to get around him. But as long as I can keep healing the damage he does to me a little, it's gonna be pretty good. If I get through here without losing any death defiance chances, that would be pretty nice. But down to 12 HP here, I think I'm gonna die soon. He's calling for the gods' help. I knew he would do that, but let's try to heal up a bit. Come on. Ah, the shield. Oh, that was close. Trying to avoid getting hit by the spear throw he does. It's really hard to heal off this guy because he blocks so many of your attacks. Down to 16 health. Death defied chance. Okay, I've got 3 left. I would have liked to have gotten through here without losing any of them. Was so close to doing it, but well, I think I can still manage with 3 chances. But I wish I'd farmed more health off him. Maybe it's wiser to take him out and then take out the Minotaur. But I've just always gotten used to doing it that way. Take out the Minotaur and then take out the shield guy. Yeah, we can put up our health a little on damaged foes. Should I take that? No, I'll leave that there. I could sell that stuff, but we'll leave the Lucky Tooth equipped because we need. We're probably going to need that 3rd Death Defiance token. So yeah, we're up to Hades now, basically. Well, this is the Cerberus area. It's kind of a little bit of a breather area before you get to Hades. Like, you can get some decent power-ups and stuff here. It's probably wise to try to get up here with a lot of gold normally when you're doing it, so you can buy all these power-ups over here. I can only afford these 2 at the moment. I'll take the health and we'll get something from Ares. He's a pretty good god. He's got quite a lot of powerful boons. Oh, and Athena's here as well for some reason. I haven't seen that happen before. That might be a kind of rare encounter that both of them are showing up here for a conversation. Again, I've played, I've had 50 attempts at this and I'm still seeing new stuff. Again, that's really why it's so addictive, because I haven't really heard any dialogue repeated yet, and I have been playing it for a long time. So it is really nice that the gods and everyone react to what you're doing every time you've had an attempt. Merciful End. I think we'll take that because it's a fated choice. I've never gotten it before. That seems like a pretty rare encounter to have Athena and Ares talking to each other. Let's see, we'll go for the Minotaur Hearts. See if we can get our health up to 130. It's probably not great that we're only going in with 130 to fight Hades. But we'll see how it goes. I'll try not to lose any more Death Defiance tokens. But if it happens, we'll try not to panic about it. And we'll just stick to the plan of hiding behind rocks. Oh, I hate these poison rats. They always do so much damage to you. There's a real risk-reward sort of feeling to this level. You don't have to do every gate in here. You just have to find the one that has the bag of food or whatever for Cerberus, and then you can leave. But if you keep going into other rooms, you can get the power-ups in there. And you never know what you're gonna find. But also, you have to decide, is it worth it to go for more power-ups, or should you just try to fight Hades now? Because it's such a challenge to get to Hades. And again, I've only had 4 or 5 attempts at Hades himself. All other times, I've mainly just died in Elysium. It's always the Minotaur guy and his little champion friend who normally give me trouble and stop my attempts. But I've also died quite a lot to these rats, these poison rats. I hate them so much. But I'm just gonna hide in this corner and keep using the abusing the laser charge, because it seems to be a wise move. We'll break out now because we got poisoned. And we really need to get rid of these rats. Okay, I'll try to farm some health off these things. This is going so badly. Lost one of the tokens. That is not good. Didn't want that to happen, but oh well. So I'm actually going to feel less guilty about using my cheap tactics against Hades if I'm only going in with like 2 Death Defiance tokens. Oh, poison myself again, idiot. Yeah, the rats. I said those regenerator. Can't even speak. I said those guys who regenerate in Elysium are the most annoying enemy, but I'm starting to think it's actually the poison rats, because poison effects are so annoying to deal with. So close to losing another Death Defiance token. Maybe I can heal my way out of this if I can get enough sword strikes on these guys. I'm going to try to weaken them with the laser attack. Okay, let's abuse this guy. Wow, we're so close to dying. We've only got 11 HP left. Oh, come on, farm this guy for health. Come on. Come on. It's going up, it's going up. We're almost at 30. Yes, we're building up, we're at 45 or something now. There we go. Got back up to 60, and the Minotaur Heart gave us 70. Surprised we survived that, to be honest. We'll take both of those. We'll leave the darkness. We don't really need to buy darkness at this point. Can I buy? No, can't buy anything over there. Let's go for the power up, shall we? Or Artemis, because Artemis can give us more critical, but I think we'll go for the power up and maybe get something for the laser beam. That's really helping in these rat infested rooms. Poisoned again, probably. Come on.
What is this stuff?
Still got 70 HP. The real strategy is to just throw down the laser beams. Sort of hope that thins the herd a little whenever you get into a room, or weakens them, and then you can just get some healing done from the sword attack. Come on, get rid of the rats so they don't poison me. Have I been poisoned? I can't see. managed to get through that one pretty easily. Okay, only one rat in here, that's pretty decent. Sometimes you can get lucky. Like I've sort of just jammed this guy into a wall and really farped quite a bit of health out of him. He was the only enemy in a pretty small room, that was pretty good. Oh, not one of these laser guys. Oh, there's so many of them. Now they're abusing me with the lasers. Guess this is what I get for relying on that move so much, but these guys, at least they don't poison you, so it's better than the rats. There's two more over here. They're pretty good for farming health out of. I've got like 108 now. When I feel like I started with 70 or something. Come on. Just hoping no rats show up, because if they poison me in this pretty big room, there's a good chance that I don't make it out. Oh, they've sent down the rats now. Come on, take them out before they can poison me, please. Drop this guy in a corner and try to abuse him for health. Okay. Try to get this laser guy. No, don't go into the poison. Ah, where's the poison healing thing? Okay, there's one. That wasn't smart. Went into the poison again, but I'm just trying to kill these guys quickly. I'm so close to using another death defiance. Ah, these rats are so annoying. There we go, healed myself a little. Should we put up the cast? Yeah, we'll put up the crystal beam, because we're really gonna need it for Hades. Yeah, we'll buy. Oh, no, we'll leave that one. We'll buy the other two. And getting kind of unlucky with these rooms. I sort of wanted to find the Cerberus bag right away that time, but I think we'll go for Ares this time. Maybe he's gonna have the bag. Because we got so unlucky so far, not fighting the bag, I'm kind of inclined to do all the rooms now, just to get what extra power-ups I can. Because you never know how useful they're gonna be. But it is risky, because I could really use the last two Death Defiance tokens against Hades. Could sell that for so much money, but I really need those power-ups. I'm sort of locked into this build now. It's a bit late to change it, so I'm not gonna purge for money. Just gonna try to stay alive. Hope we don't have to fight that. What's he called? The little vermint. The tiny rat. It becomes like a sort of secret boss. He's really annoying to fight. So much poison damage in that fight. And it just really eats up my strategy. Come on. He's gonna abuse lasers. I'm gonna abuse the lasers as well. Kind of knocked him out of the beam's range there. That was kind of stupid, but oh well. We'll get him, set him right back up. I knocked him right back out of the line of sight again. Genius. But in fairness, he didn't manage to do too much damage to us there. And we managed to heal ourselves up pretty nicely.
The satyrs must be fashioning those things.
So let's see what Ares has for us. He can have some really powerful abilities. All the gods have pretty good abilities, to be honest. Yes, 3 epics. Attack and special. I think we'll take that. Because the Cerberus bag isn't in here either. Well, hopefully that Aries boon we can fish. Was that always here, or did that just appear when I came up this time? Well, I'm gonna take the opportunity because, to be honest, I often miss the fishing symbol. I forget that it's part of the game sometimes. We'll go see Artemis, and in that final coin room, I think we'll use the ability to change it to something else, and see if it gives us anything useful. Poisoned, heal myself. Okay. Got a feeling this is going to be the room with the bag in it for Cerberus, but I've sort of done all the rooms apart from that coin room I'm planning to change, so I think I might as well do all of them since I'm here. I am kind of stalling instead of going to fight Hades, but oh well. I want to give myself the best chance at beating him this time. So maybe if we can change that room to another Minotaur heart. Yeah, there's the bag for Cerberus. So we'll take it. And we'll get whatever ability Artemis has. Oh, critical damage versus armor. That could be pretty useful in the next fight, because Hades, he loves to throw out the enemies that are armored up after a while. Yeah, better take that epic one. Don't really need this fountain. Wish it added 52 HP to my health instead of something like that, but and I'll use 300 to buy this. We'll put up the cast to do more damage, I think. For yeah, 4.8 per second. I probably should have upgraded the cast more than the sword attack, but oh well. Hopefully we don't run into that vermin boss in here, because that could really end the run if we run into that guy. Yeah, actually at first you think he's a bit of a joke boss, this tiny rat or mouse or whatever. But he can quickly eat up your HP and poison you really easily if you're not careful. Managed to change the door symbol to a Hades symbol. So hopefully we'll get something else decent out of Hades. Or not Hades, Ares. Okay. Don't really need to purge anything, do I? Nah, I don't think I would have enough money to buy anything else out there from the boatman anyway. I don't think he's anything that useful left, just like a diamond and stuff for buying stuff back at the main Hades hub area or whatever. I'm not really interested in buying all that stuff at the moment. That's sort of something I'm going to work towards later. 3 rats. I hate when there's a load of rats together. I got poisoned badly, get that. Oh, so much poison. This is where something like the laser is actually quite useful, because it helps you stay away from the rats. And it deals all the damage to them from a distance, and you can stay away from them as well. And the fact I've got chill on it, that slows them down and keeps them away from me as well, that's pretty great. Oh, I hate this room. Those traps are so annoying. Almost got blown up there. Poisoned. Where's the health? Poison. Help. Where's the poison thingy? There we go. Nice. Okay. There's been no rats so far, but that makes me suspicious that they're saving the rats towards the end, so they can come in and poison me at the last second. And that would be pretty annoying. I've been hit with Doom for some reason. And I hear some small rats showing up now. Keep poisoning myself. I'm gonna get blown up now. Okay, hate that. Yes, there we go. We'll give Ares a gift. Why not? I might as well. Every little helps to deepen those relationships.
The suffering which you inflict is ample compensation in itself.
Because I think once you get them to a full level of hearts, they give you they upgrade their little artifact that they've given you, which seems like it could be useful. I think we'll go for Ares as aid because I don't have any calls on this character yet, which is pretty not great to do at the last minute, but oh well. We've got one now. Yeah, I can't really buy anything. That 450 Ares symbol might have been worth something good, but yeah, we've done everything. Time to go face Hades and try out this cheesy method I'm planning to use. I'm actually not going to feel too bad about deploying it because I've only got 130 health and I've only got 2 death defiance tokens or whatever. So I think I'm kind of underpowered actually, but I guess we'll see how well the lasers work. I'm just gonna have to try not to panic and just wear them down and hide behind those 2 sort of pillars. I've been calling them rocks, but I think they're the bottoms of pillars.
You'll understand.
He doesn't have much dialogue because I've gotten to him quite a few times now. So we're just gonna deploy the lasers. Stay back from him. Oh, he disappeared and showed up behind us. Okay. Use Ares call to aid. I've got chill on him now, that's pretty good. That should slow him down a little. Come on. Yeah, we're not doing as much damage as I would have hoped from the lasers. Almost on a death defiance already. Ah. Yeah, this plan is going well already. But to be fair, it's more the second phase where you would really be trying to hide behind stuff and using the lasers. Okay, sent out these guys. That's good. We can farm them for a little bit of health while he's shielded up or whatever. Try to get up to 120 or so. Come on, farm some health. But I'm just throwing out the lasers whenever I have a chance, and then using the Ares call to aid to get in close to him because it makes you invulnerable for a couple of seconds. Didn't get near him that time when I was invulnerable. Oh, come on. Yes, nice. I'm surprised I still... I was going to say I'm surprised I haven't used the second death defiance yet, but there we go. And I've barely got him past half health on his first stage. So that's why I really sort of needed to have all the death defiance chances, but we're just going to have to try and avoid his attacks and keep healing ourselves now. I think I actually bought something that makes my health go up when I stand still, because I do see my health goes up there when I'm not even healing. Was that something I bought from Karen's shop or something? Or is it part of some other ability I picked up? Maybe that one that had Ares and Athena as part of it. So that's interesting. I've got full health now. Is that the game just taking pity on me because I've died so many times? I'm going up by 1 HP if I stay away from him, I see. Okay, I've nearly gone down to his second stage. Come on, not away, let the lasers attack him. Ah! Yes. Okay, now this is where he starts doing his big explosive attack, where you actually do need to hide behind the pillars to avoid it. So I'm going to throw out my lasers. He's invulnerable at the moment, but hide. Still get hit by that. I don't know how I'm supposed to. Ah, there's the thing I'm supposed to be hiding from. Okay, see that attack just can completely decimate you if you don't get out of the way of it quick enough. This is where I'm really going to start hiding behind these pillars and just letting my lasers attack him. Come on. Okay, I'm just going to hide out here. Really, I should have put out the lasers before hiding, so he was getting attacked during his entire beam attack. Yes, he's going to get attacked this time when I'm hiding. Yeah, my health's going up by 1 by just standing here. I'm not sure what I picked up that does that, but thank God. It's really helping me out. I think it must be something I picked up from Ares and Athena, whatever that duo boon was. This is going to be a really slow way of taking him down because look at how much health he still has. But honestly, it's doing this or dying again, and I'm just going to do this to get out of here. I just need to get out once, and then I'll maybe play more fair the next time. But to be honest, he's doing the same thing to me with that flame attack. Just sitting over there and throwing out beams. So I'm going to do the same to him. Screw it. Yeah, I've got a laser attack now as well. Hades, what are you going to do about it? No. So I'm actually starting to see the laser method is actually pretty decent. It would be nice to have more insurance of 2 or 3 death defiances in case something goes wrong. Like maybe he figures out how to destroy these pillars or something. And then we're just going to be destroyed. But till then, we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. I'll get in a few hits when I can, but just to try and speed up his slow demise. But otherwise, I'm pretty much fine to just hide and attack and then hide and attack. It's really old school boss fight methods. Get a hit, hide, get a hit, hide. This is probably the cheesiest way anyone has ever beaten Hades. But oh well. I think I am owed a win after 50 attempts. It's not like I haven't put in any effort over the course of the game. If I was doing this the very first time I ever got to Hades, I would feel a bit worse about it. But because I've played for 50 attempts and I don't know how many times I've reached Hades and failed. So that was nearly a disaster there. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, we've got him. We've pretty much got him now. I think this is over. We've actually done it. Yes. So the laser plan and the whatever ability was putting up my health there pretty much saved my ass. Apart from the sword strike putting up 2 points, I was getting 2 passive healing point. I was getting 1 passive healing point by just standing still. I think it must have been something I bought or some boon that I got off Ares and Athena there. I'll have to watch back this footage again and actually read what I was doing, because that ability really saved us there. And if it wasn't an ability I picked up, the game was actually just taking mercy on me or something. But yeah, it feels good to have finally beaten him. And I'll be able to advance the story now. I don't think I'm gonna show the rest of the ending of this because it'll take the video past an hour, and I don't really want the video to go on longer than that. It's kind of why I cut out the first few rooms of Tartarus in this video, just to keep it a bit, just to keep it to a nice smooth hour-long video. And I've beaten Hades now, and the rest of this I think it's just a cutscene. So yeah, 43 minutes it took. That wasn't bad. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and comment if it helped you out in any way. And yeah, thanks for watching my first escape from Hades. See you later, people.